Hi YouTube, it's the ESR Productions here, and today is Serj Tankian's 46th birthday! Happy birthday, Serj! You don't know me, but hi, my name is Emily. Oh, and I'm very sorry if my voice is terrible right now. I did not know that my seasonal allergies were going to act up again. Like, they haven't for a while, and I was like, maybe I'm in the clear. And then my nose was just like, haha, no. So, I'm sorry if my voice is heh. So the reason why I'm making you this video is because you have influenced my life in many ways ever since I was 13, which is when I first got introduced to System. And I wanted to acknowledge you for that, because that's a nice thing to do on your birthday, right? I mean, who wouldn't like to be acknowledged for someone changing their life? Or who wouldn't like to be acknowledged for changing someone's life? That's how you say it. It has to do with birth, because if you were never born, then you wouldn't have changed that person's life. So I think it's an important thing to acknowledge. My friend Caitlin is a huge fan of you. I got introduced to you guys when I was 13. Her, I think she was 12. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm thinking of the dates correctly. But we were in middle school, and we were really kind of the outcasts. That is not just saying it lightly, but we used to be huge troublemakers. Like, we always got in trouble with the teachers, and it was interesting. We were really lonely during middle school, and you got us through that. The first song that I heard from you guys was Chop Suey. Her first song was She's Like Heroin. And the reason she found them out was because I kept singing your songs in public. And she was like, what is that? So I showed her She's Like Heroin, and she loved it. And that used to be the majority of our sleepovers. We used to just watch all your interviews and your live shows and things like that, and listen to your songs. And I lended her some albums I bought from you guys. How I particularly got introduced was when I was going through probably the worst time in my life, and I wanted some music to kind of drown things out, but I didn't have heavy music on my iPod, so I looked up like Linkin Park, something like that, like the heaviest music I knew. And in the related video section there was System, so I saw a Chop Suey lyric video, and it was really good, and I kept listening to it over and over and over again. And I was like, okay, I don't like the band, but I like this one song. Little did I know that that was not the end. My second song that I heard was Toxicity. Oh, Sad Statue. My gosh, that song is amazing. I feel like that's kind of an underrated song, but I love that song personally. That and Dreaming. And next thing I knew, I was renting albums from the library. I rented Hypnotize and Mesmerize. And I loved Mesmerize so much. I also love Hypnotized. And then I read an entire Wikipedia article on you guys, because I wanted to find out who you were, because you guys were not the stereotypical metal that I always imagined, even though I never listened to it. I looked at that, and then next thing I know, I just had all of your albums in one convenient set. I bought them in a set. And so I introduced them to my friend Caitlin at the same time, and she loved them. It was just great. We bonded so much. I mean, she was already a good friend of mine in middle school, but that just made us even closer. We weren't supposed to have any technology out during lunch, so Caitlin and I ran in the bathroom and listened to your music. I had a whole album of pictures of you guys because she wanted references, like, what do these guys look like, and what are their names, and things like that. This is gonna be so awkward to admit, but we had huge crushes on all of you guys. I don't think that's an uncommon thing for you guys. I felt like middle school was trauma. It was like 3 years of being kidnapped, and graduation was like me escaping. You guys helped me so much, and you even continue to help me into high school. So thank you so much for that. I never listened to anything remotely metal back then, but now I do. But not just metal, I've gotten into folk and classical and just all these different kinds of music that I never thought I would ever listen to. I never branched out until I heard of you guys. So thank you so much for that. Okay, so the first time I really kind of got involved or aware of what was going on in the world was the Louisiana oil spill. My dad read me a section in the paper and I was like, ooh, so I kind of asked him like updates or anything like that. But when I really got politically involved was in you guys. Really, like, I read about the Armenian genocide and, you know, I never heard of Armenia before you guys. And, I mean, I'm not good with geographical locations in general. So I looked it up and I researched the genocide. And in middle school we did this thing called an independent project, which is basically you pick a subject that you don't know a lot about and then you present it to the class, your research done on it. So I chose the Armenian genocide and I made a video of it. If you want to watch it, it's on my channel. I used to think that was amazing editing back then, but it's not. Everyone loved it. I got a good reaction. There was this Turkish guy who was in my class. I asked if there were any questions, and he raised his hand, and I was like, yes. And he's just like, I try not to mention the genocide when I go to Turkey. I'm like, that's, I can see why. And, oh yeah, it was good. I even did a slideshow this year. On April 24th, I presented to my class, my homeroom essentially, and they loved it, and I was so happy because the Armenian genocide, I'm not Armenian, but it was so important to get those issues out there, and you know, now I'm really involved with politics. I even went to the polls to help my dad vote. Well, not help him, but like, we had the same choice, and so I went to the polls and I filled in the little bubbles. So thank you so much, Serj. Like, I know that you're the most politically involved one in the group. Well, I don't know how you would measure that exactly, but I know that political justice is important to you, and I'm trying to get the Armenian genocide more out there. It's really important that people know about these types of things. Just thank you so much for that. I've enjoyed not only you with System, but I've enjoyed your music. You know, as a solo artist, I think you were doing a great job. I haven't listened to Jazz's Christ yet, nor have I listened to Orca. I will. I still need to get the albums. I usually like to get the hard copy of the CD, you know, not just like buying them on iTunes. I couldn't find it on Amazon. It made me really sad. Well, a CD on Amazon. But I have all of your other albums. I love them so much, by the way. Like, you have no idea. You're the reason why I like other bands and things like that. So, I cannot thank you enough for how much you changed my life. When I first got introduced to you, like I said, I was going through a really hard time. Okay, this is awkward to admit, but I've been kind of suicidal lately. This is like my first year I've ever attempted. It's so awkward to admit. So I always think about how maybe if I was 13 and if I had never gotten introduced to you guys, I might have, you know, attempted then. Yeah, you put it off, but I think you're also kind of stopping it now. And Serj, if you're watching this, which, you know, I would hope you are really amazing. I saw you with System last year. I think last year. Has it only been a year since that? It was her first concert and my third. She loved it as her first concert. I loved it as, it was like my favorite concert by far. You guys were so amazing. Serj, in case you haven't noticed, which I'm sure you have, everyone is bothering you to get back together with System and make another album, and oh my gosh, people, stop it. It's really annoying. Like, I know how you feel, Serj, even though I haven't experienced that firsthand. And I'm not just saying that because you probably feel the same way, but that must be really terrible. I think that your solo work is amazing. I don't think the other members of System should rush into getting another singer. That's my opinion. Whenever you guys feel the time is right, all of you, every single one of you. Because, I mean, that's happened before. That's been your entire life together, pretty much. I mean, you wouldn't have made Mesmerize, Hypnotize, your first album, Steal This Album, Toxicity. You wouldn't have made those if you didn't feel like it, you know? There has to be a drive and things like that. I think System should get back together and make another album when the time is right. And if not all 4 members want to make the album, then the time is not right. It's not just one holding the other back. Because at one point it was all completely mutual and all 4 members wanted to make those 5 brilliant albums, so why should this be any different, you know? Anyways, you are amazing, and do not forget that. I don't know how to describe it, but you have just always been there for me. Even though we've never technically met, I've bonded with my best friend to this day, listening to your music. I'm politically aware and involved. I cannot thank you enough for that. And you've stopped me from killing myself, so that's good. So thank you so much, and I wish this video could be a lot better. I just hope that you have an awesome birthday, and I will see you whenever you come back to Michigan. Which is hopefully soon, because we miss you. Okay, bye!